This is Donald, and for the next half hour, I'll be reading from the April 6th issue of the Chautauqua Gazette and the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Lake Erie Wine Country, Why a Visit Should Be in Your Future. Contributed by Erica LeBlanc, Lake Erie Wine Country. It's obvious, isn't it? You come for the wine. Maybe it's not so simple. We'll come back to the wine. The number one reason people visit Lake Erie Wine Country is this: to enjoy themselves spending time with the people they came with. Yes, tasting a new and memorable wine is part of the experience, but what matters more is what you're doing. You're stepping out of a busy life. You're traveling with someone you care about. You're hitting a pause on the pressures of the everyday and giving yourself permission to enjoy something simple and good: time, place, and company. That's the good life. The wine is a catalyst. The people are what make it magical. A day or two or three spent with someone special, with no agenda, beyond enjoying what's in front of you, something you carry with you, something you remember, a place people return to. Did you know roughly 75% of our guests are repeat visitors? If you haven't made the trip yet, that might make you wonder what you're missing. Our returning guests come back to the something familiar. They see faces they recognize from past events, from tasting rooms, and pick up conversations where they left off. They reconnect, compare notes, and rediscover places they come to love, and return to something that feels in their own way like home. And for the first-time visitors, you're not missing out. You're beginning something. You're starting in a new chapter, one that you can return to and build on over time, like coming home for the first time. But I don't like wine. That's okay. In fact, that's part of the fun. I once brought my son on a wine tour. He told me up front he didn't like wine, but he come along anyways. On our first stop, the staff didn't ask what he should like. They asked what he did like: sweet or dry, bright or smooth, familiar flavors or something new. They guided him not to a textbook answer, but to his own preferences. And something interesting happened. He slowed down, paid attention, and tasted with intention. By the end of the day, he wasn't just leaving with 3 bottles of wine. He was leaving with a new way of experiencing things, the way of noticing what he enjoys and allowing that to matter. That's the real discovery. More than wine. And wineries don't have to be your only destination. Why not pair a tasting with 9 holes of golf, or walk through Panama Rocks, where the same heightened awareness lets you appreciate nature more fully? Lake Erie Wine Country isn't a checklist. It's a landscape, a garden of experiences. Why visit the roses and ignore the orchids? When you're here, you're surrounded by culture, history, and opportunity. Spend time at the National Comedy Center and share a laugh that becomes part of your memory. Stay at a historic bed and breakfast and enjoy the charm of another era. Or choose a modern resort and unwind in comfort. Step outside the current of daily life and then choose intentionally how you want to spend the time, because those choices are what make a visit special. The wine still matters. So the wine isn't the point. Let's not get carried away. If the wine weren't good, everything else would feel a little less special. Fortunately, that's not a concern here. Lake Erie wine country's winemakers take the fruit of the region and craft wines that range from simple and familiar to complex and contemplative. A crisp white for a relaxed afternoon, a bold red for a long dinner with someone you care about. Wine isn't just good or bad, it's what suits the moment. And when the wine fits, the moment becomes something more. Whether you know a great deal about wine or almost nothing, you already have everything you need, a palate and a point of view. No expertise required, just attention. As the saying goes, only a fool takes his pleasures lightly. Why you should visit. Why should you visit Lake Erie Wine Country? Because relationships deepen when you give them time and space. Because shared experiences, especially simple ones, have a way of reminding us that life still holds joy. Because when you slow down and pay attention, the world feels richer, and because you're just glad you did. Wine Through the Great Divide by publisher Lori Cornell. We are thrilled and grateful for our twice annual partnered editions with Lake Erie Wine Country here in Chautauqua County. We are proud home of the largest Concord grape growing region in the world. Nestled in our rural areas are thousands of acres of vineyards, dozens of wineries, and a grape discovery center in Westfield, where one may experience it all. An astounding 65% of New York State's total annual grape harvest is produced here and sold in products across the globe. While visitors from across the globe may know all about grape growing haven, area residents may not understand the incredible opportunity growing right here in our backyards. The Lake Erie Wine Trail is a one-of-a-kind wonder that stretches across 50 miles in our county and into Pennsylvania and boasts 23 wineries and an incredible experience for anyone who takes the trek. The trail draws seasoned wine connoisseurs, eager learners, and really just any adult looking for one of the most creative, gorgeous, and immersive experiences of small business ingenuity in our own county. Every year, our county plays host to visitors from various regions. Visitors from Buffalo, check. Visitors from Cleveland, check. Visitors from Erie, check. Visitors from Pittsburgh, check. Areas from communities, the northern end of Chautauqua County, check, check. Visitors from communities in the southern end of Chautauqua County, well, the numbers show we could take more advantage of the adventure awaiting. Historically, that's how we roll, generally speaking. The differing habits and happenings between the northern end of the county and the southern end have long been our thing. We joke about it. Our collective, arguably territorial feelings are friendly, innocuous, and unintentional. But Chautauqua County has long had what we amusingly refer to as the Great Divide, somewhat along the infamous Chautauqua Ridge snowline between the Chautauqua and the Lake Erie watersheds. It's the imaginary patronage and market attention line where one side of the rainwater flows out to the Mississippi and the other to the Atlantic, where one side of the population shops in the Dunkirk, Fredonia area and the other Jamestown, Lakewood area, where one side enjoys grape vineyards and the other locks in along the I-186 Chautauqua Lake corridor. As someone who grew up in the north and now lives in the south, I've always found the Great Divide fascinating. However, this season It is our hope that our entire region will wake up and smell the grapes, so to speak. Hit the trail and bridge the great divide, one tasting, one bottle, one experience at a time. The relationship between the wineries, the trail, and our local economy is reciprocal, whether we participate in it or not. But it's a lot more fun than when we do. So this edition, we're making the case with numbers, with history, and with a genuine local pride that the Great Divide is worth crossing. The wine's fantastic, the views are splendid, and it's right up the road. A season of growth. Why supporting local matters this spring? Article contributed by Daniel J. Heitzenader, Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce President and CEO. As the snow finally retreats and for the first hints of green appear, there is a sense of renewal in Chautauqua County. Spring is more than just a change in the weather. It is a time of growth and a perfect opportunity for us to reconnect with the vibrant communities we all call home. At the CHQ Chamber, we often talk about the importance of shopping locally, but as we head into the season, we want to emphasize and supporting local is more than just a transaction. It is about investing in the unique character of our community. Our local businesses are not just the backbone of our economy, but the community. When you choose to spend your time and your dollars here, you are ensuring that Chautauqua County remains a place where families can grow and businesses can flourish. This spring, let's make it a collective effort to be tourists in our own backyard. Let's celebrate the innovators, the makers, and the dreamers who keep our county moving forward. Business Builder Workshop, Company Culture. The CHQ Chamber will present its next Business Builder Workshop on Wednesday, April 8th at the Sony Fredonia Center Innovation for Economic Development with a focus on company culture. This session will be held from 9 till 10:30 a.m. The workshop will focus on company culture shapes its employee engagement, business success, and community perception. Discover how intentional culture building rooted its values, leadership, and connection can help you attract and retain top talent, strengthen your team, and create a workplace where you truly want to be. Our panelists for the workshop will be Joe Sanfilippo of Sanfilippo Solutions and Zach Haggeston of Tanglewood Group. These local professionals will share real-world examples how culture comes to life in their organizations and how it influences everything from decision-making to employee involvement and community engagement. This workshop will be perfect for businesses and nonprofit organizations. The CHQ Chamber presents the state of the county. The CHQ Chamber is working with County Executive's Office this year to provide a more meaningful event to our local business community. This year's breakfast gathering with the County Executive will include the actual state of the county address, followed by a moderated question and answer session so our guests can engage in the topics presented. The CHQ Chamber State of the County breakfast will be held Tuesday, April 21st at 8 a.m. at the Doubletree by Hilton, 150 West 4th Street, Jamestown. The cost to attend this event is $30 for chamber members or $35 for non-members, which covers breakfast and helps to support the ongoing work of the CHQ Chamber year-round. Sponsors for the 2026 CHQ Chamber State of the County event are AHN Westfield Memorial Hospital, Brooks TLC Hospital System, County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency, Labella Associates, Media One Radio Group, National Grid, Phillips Lytle LLP, the State University of New York at Fredonia, and UPMC Chautauqua. Registration is open now through the Chamber's web calendar at www.chchamber.org. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Chautauqua Gazette and the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Hazeltine Public Library Spring 2026 Free Author Series, contributed by Chautauqua Cattaraugus Library System. Hazeltine Public Library is pleased to announce the popular author series will begin April 6th and continue each Monday evening until May 18th. Held in the community building at the HPL at 6:30 p.m. each Monday, authors will read from their work, talk about the process of writing, answer questions, and have their books available for sale and signing. The first evening will feature a new author, Nick Smith, on April 6th, a native of Bristol, England, is a best-selling author, film director, producer, and actor who now lives in Western New York. Mike Trendy, the first novel in Nick's Whiskers in the Dark series, has been featured on NPR's All Things Considered, translated into Italian, adapted into an Edinburgh Fringe Festival play, and praised by the New York Times. Ted Goldberg, Julie Cooper, and David Letterman. Arlene Culture joins on April 13th, a native of the Washington, D.C. suburbs. She has just released Windblown, the first in a series of 4 books following members of a special ops team as they make their transitions from military careers to civilian life. One of the overreaching themes that you don't have to be heroic to make a difference in your family, in your community, and your world. Returning author Jason Bussman is featured on April 20th. His career has included newspaper copy editor, high school teacher, and is currently teaches writing at SUNY Fredonia and St. Bonaventure University. His memoir, Fumble, expands on those themes and gives a humorous look into growing up in the 80s and 90s and navigating the challenges of being a dad and husband. April 27th features a new author, Carolyn Hutchinson. Carolyn is a local indie author and creator of the Mill Wheel Mysteries, a cozy mystery series set in a charming small town where the secrets simmer beneath the surface and community ties run deep. As an independent author, she oversees every aspect of her books, from writing and editing to publishing and reader engagement, making her journey both creative and entrepreneurial. TJ Buck will join us Monday, May 4th. Buck, a Falconer native, has worked for newspapers in Albany, Saranac Lake, and Glendale, New York, as well as publications in Arizona for more than 25 years. His novel, Beyond the Pale, was set in Boston and Belfast, combining crime and politics. Historian Pamela Brown is a featured speaker on May 11th. Brown is appointed historian for 3 municipalities in Chautauqua County, the Village of Panama, and the towns of Harmony and North Harmony, and is the volunteer librarian, archivist, and collector manager at Harmony Historical Society in Brookville, New York. She will share local history through her book Legacy of Labor, the story of the only conservation corps camp in Chautauqua County, New York. This is a compelling and heartfelt account of a unique chapter in local and national history. The book meticulously chronicles the story of the lone civilian Conservation Corps CCC camp established near Panama in Chautauqua County during the Great Depression. Our final evening, May 18th, features a returning author, Lana Keller, who brings uplifting and comforting messages through her poetry. Keller, a native of Western New York, has recently retired and can now work more on her poetry. She has written poetry for several decades, often touching on everyday topics and occurrences that have inspired her. Copies from each author will be for sale on the evening, as well as available to borrow through the library. Reservations are not required. Off-street parking is available, and a community building is accessible. Feel free to call the library at 716-487-1281 if you have any questions about the venue or the offer series or in general. We look forward to welcome you to the Hazeltine Public Library. Library Spotlight, Bemis Point Library, contributed by Chautauqua Gazette Library System. The Bemis Point Public Library began with an idea from Mrs. Elizabeth Bemis in 1907 with the donation of a piece of land next to her home on Center Street. She also lent money for the building and materials, which in turn put the entire village in a generous giving mood. The library officially opened its doors in December 1908 with Mrs. Bemis as the head librarian. In 1910, an official charter was issued. In 1959, a children's room was added in the basement. When the Chautauqua Gazette Library was established in 1969, the library became a participating member, benefiting from the support and training. After an extensive fundraising effort and a generous residents' workforce, the library moved to its current location at 13 Main Street, having purchased the former club rooms from the Bemis Point Fire Department. Throughout the years, the library has been an extremely important community gathering place. Over the decades, the library has gone from the card catalog to the digital age, expanding reading materials, movies, audiobooks, and even a telescope that can be checked out with your library card. In recent years, the library has vastly increased in programs for community members such as book clubs, authors' talks, computer help, grading, gardening talks, origami classes, tutoring center, rug hooking groups, book sales, the art trails and art mobile children's programs, as well as story hour for toddlers. Alongside Bemis Point residents, the library is a true gift to the community. Stop in today to say hello and check out all the great material and resources available with your library card. No matter your need, the Bemis Point Library staff will be there to help. Opening for the season, Thursday, April 9th, contributed by Grape Discovery Center, Concord Grape Belt Heritage Association Incorporated, Westfield, New York, recently held its annual meeting in participation for this year's opening season. Held in its headquarters at the Grape Discovery Center, GDC, the official visitor center for the New York State Lake Erie Concord Grape Belt Heritage Area. The association hosted 50 members and guests for a short business meeting, fittingly enough on a National AG Day in March. followed by a presentation by Jennifer Phillips Russo of Cornell Corporative Extension, and then refreshments. As the Cornell Senior Viticulture Extension Specialist and Team Leader for the Lake Erie Regional Grape Program, Ms. Phelps Russo spoke to the interested grape growers and business leaders about many of the factors affecting the grape industry in Western New York. In addition to collaborating with statewide and national partners to address industry challenges, Ms. Phillips Russo and her team provides the industry with many tools to evaluate production strategies, improve profitability, and adopt the best management practices. The Grape Discovery Center, GDC, exists to support and promote the grape and wine industry and serves over 7,000 visitors each year. In addition to its interactive exhibits and museum, the GDC offers wine and juice tastings from over 60 New York wineries and juice producers, and a gift shop featuring many local produced foods and unique artisanal items. The GDC offers its tasting room for small groups and private parties. Located at 8305 West Main Road, Route 20 in Westfield, New York, the Grape Discovery Center can be found on Facebook or at www.grapediscoverycenter.com or contact manager Lori Lewis at 716-326-2003. The Grape Belt Heritage Association Incorporated is a 501c3 nonprofit organization and welcomes volunteers to help its ongoing mission to bolster and strengthen the Lake Erie Concord Grape Belt region of Western New York and Pennsylvania. The Penny in My Shoe by Judy I. Booth Traherne. A penny on the path I found, a single solitary cent, no pocket, no purse in store in it, no shop around with which I could be spent. If inside my shoe the penny was laying, by evening time I wish more reward for my pain. At hand and foot Jesus Christ suffered the nails, the perfect sacrifice which provided our bail. When on the cross my King was slain, each drop of blood shed on our eternal gain. Through Eastertide, as church you attend, you seek the Lord your soul to mend. The altar's open, the curtain sent, in honor of the Son God Almighty has sent, that peace might reign and joy be abound, for in Jesus Christ the lost be found. You have been listening to a reading of articles and features from the April 6th issue of the Chautauqua Gazette. We read from the Chautauqua Gazette on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. Your reader has been Donald. Thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Radio reading serves people who are blind or have a print disability throughout Western New York and Southern Ontario's Niagara Peninsula. From its broadcast studios at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga, just north of Clinton Street. Almost 40 years and more than 300,000 hours of radio readings to those unable to read printed matter on their own. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. Volunteer radio readers broadcast daily readings of newspapers, magazines, and books. For more information on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, call us at 716-821-5555. Good morning. Welcome to another broadcast day on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, a private not-for-profit organization. As always, please feel free to contact us with your comments, suggestions, and questions you may have. And please stay with us. Arena Buffalo News is coming up in just a second.
The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or another